Hi, I'm Anna, and welcome back to the Sompo's Sunday Essay Club on air. I'm really glad you're here. Today's episode is a little different because we're doing something deliberately aligned. This is the same essay question my D3 study circle is working on right now, and I wanted to open it up so that whether you're writing along with us, listening quietly, or just beginning to find your footing with D3 theory, you can think your way through it with me. Let me start by reading the full question exactly as it appeared in the May 2022 D3 exam. With reference to the Northern Rhône and South Australia, explain how factors in the vineyard and the winery contribute to the production of high quality wines from Syrah/Shiraz. This is a very modern D3 question more recent after the 2019 overhaul of the diploma program. It's tight in scope, there are no distractions, the two regions, one grape, and a clear expectation that you separate vineyard from winery and that you explain how decisions translate into wine style and quality. So before we talk about content, let's talk about intent. This question is not asking you to describe Syrah as a grape. It's not asking you to list subregions for the sake of it. And it's certainly not asking for tasting notes. What it wants is disciplined thinking, clear structure, and cause and effect reasoning that shows you understand how quality is built, not just where wines come from. That's the lens we're going to use today. I want you to imagine that before you ever write a sentence, you pause and organize the page in your mind. Two regions, two lenses, vineyard first, winery second. And throughout, a steady return to the idea of quality, balance, concentration, structure, and aging potential. Let's begin with the Northern Rhône. The Northern Rhône is defined by its geography. Steep slopes along the Rhône River, predominantly granite soils, and a continental climate with Mediterranean influence. Syrah here is planted on slopes, not for romance but for necessity. These inclines improve drainage, reduce frost risk, and crucially, increase sunlight interception in a region where full phenolic ripeness is not guaranteed every year. Vineyard orientation matters. South facing slopes in the northern hemisphere receive greater sun exposure, helping Syrah ripen more reliably while retaining acidity. Low yields are common, partly because of the challenging terrain and partly because quality focused producers deliberately restrict vigor. The result is smaller berries with higher skin to juice ratio, contributing to color, tannin, and flavor concentration. Wind also plays a role. The Mistral reduces disease pressure, allowing growers to limit chemical intervention and maintain healthy canopies. This supports even ripening and preserves aromatic purity, which is essential for the refined savory expression of Syrah typical of the region. Now move into the winery. Winemaking in the Northern Rhône is restrained and purposeful. Fermentation temperatures are managed to extract color and tannin without overwhelming the wine. Whole bunch fermentation may be used by some producers to add aromatic lift and tannin structure, but it is handled carefully to avoid greenness. Oak is used, but typically in larger formats or with a low proportion of new barrels, allowing the character of Syrah, black fruit, spice, pepper, and floral notes to remain central. The outcome is wines with firm, fine grained tannins, moderate alcohol, high acidity, and clear aging potential. Quality here is expressed through structure and restraint rather than power. Now let's shift hemispheres and with that perspective. South Australia produces Shiraz in a markedly different environment. The climate is generally warmer, with higher levels of sunshine and lower disease pressure. Regions such as Barossa Valley, McLaren Vale, Clare Valley, and Eden Valley all contribute to South Australia's reputation, but what unites them is the capacity to achieve full ripeness with ease. In the vineyard, warmth and sunlight lead to riper fruit, higher potential alcohol, and softer acidity. Old wines are a majority quality driver in South Australia. Many vineyards are dry farmed, naturally limiting yields and producing concentrated fruit. In higher altitude regions such as Eden Valley, cooler temperatures, moderate ripening, retaining acidity, and producing a more restrained style compared to Barossa Valley. Soils vary widely, but the common thread is that growers match site to style. In warmer regions, canopy management is critical to protect fruit from excessive heat and sunburn, preserving balance rather than simply chasing ripeness. In the winery, South Australian Shiraz allows for greater stylistic flexibility. Riper fruit supports fuller body, higher alcohol, and more generous extraction. Oak is used more assertively than in the northern Rhône, often with a higher proportion of new barrels, contributing sweetness, spice, and texture. Alcohol and fruit concentration help integrate this oak, resulting in plush, powerful wines with balance maintained. Despite these differences, quality is still the anchor. The best examples show controlled extraction, careful oak integration, and an emphasis on harmony rather than excess. Where acidity is lower, phenolic ripeness and tannin quality become even more important in supporting structure and aging potential. And this is where the comparison really matters. Both regions produce high quality wines from the same grape, but through different pathways. In the northern Rhone, quality is achieved by maximizing marginal conditions, slope, aspect, low yields, restrained winemaking to build structure and longevity. In South Australia, quality comes from managing abundance, controlling ripeness, alcohol, extraction, and oak to maintain balance and definition. If you hold that contrast clearly, your essay writes itself. Before I close, I want to invite you into the conversation. If you're working on this question, I'd love to see how you're structuring it. You can share an outline, a paragraph you're unsure about, or a question that's holding you back, either here in the comments or by joining the Sunday Essay Club if you'd like written feedback and ongoing support. The link to join the SEC is in the editor notes and comments. There's no pressure to be perfect. This is about practicing how to think, not proving what you already know. And whether you write this essay today, next week, or never, I hope listening helped you feel how calm and workable D3 theory can be when you approach it with structure and intention. I'll see you next Sunday.